2012. God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again. At Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Are you tired of processed meat and flimsy sandwiches? Subchain's gotten to your last nerve? Then I have the place for you. Come see my buddy Josefa at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Locally sourced meat sliced daily and fresh breads from Harvest Moon Bakery. Daily specials announced on Facebook, including the Poke Bowl every Friday and Saturday. For to-go orders, call 479-567-3403.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures in the upper 40s north, upper 50s south, with temperatures across the north falling into the lower 40s. Clear skies. We're going to cool things down all the way in the low to mid 20s overnight. Sunshine Tuesday, a high well into the middle 40s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin State dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning and welcome in. Halftime is underway. December the 2nd, for crying out loud. You mean to tell me we got one more month left in this year? Where's all the time gone? Next thing you know, we'll be saying, can you believe that it's February of 2025? By then, we'll know a college football champion. We'll know who's playing in the Super Bowl. We'll have a real sense of maybe what the Arkansas football team might look like for 2025. But these things always seem to creep up on us. December is creeping up on us. That's right. Good to be with you today. Phil Elson with you on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. My partner, Matt Jones, in studio. Across the table from the one and only Christian C-Unit Johnson. We'll take you for the next I left a T out of the last name there, Christian. Sorry, Johnston. Take you for the next 3 hours here on this radio station or app that you're listening to. Our guests will be Mike Irwin, bottom of this hour. We'll talk with Dr. Charlie Liggett, River Valley Smile Center, 3 Up, 3 Down, hour 2. 1:15's Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South for a look around college football and the conference championships coming up. And to my way of thinking, as I'm looking at the possible playoff 12, I think there are 3 spots up for grabs right now. Group of 5 champion, Big 12 champion, 1 at large. Right now I'm seeing 3 SEC teams to get in, possibly a 4th. But we'll figure it all out, I guess, when the time comes tomorrow when we have our the next poll to be released. Morning, Matt. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, my goodness. It was a good few days off. A lot of good football on. That's for sure. A lot of upsets, a lot of chippiness, A
lot of flags planted on field.
Don't start fighting after the game's over. If you got, what do you got all this energy after the game for, huh? Don't start doing that. Liverpool 2-0 over Man City. They're in first place by 9 points this early in the season. So go Liverpool.
9 sounds like a lot. Really does sound like a lot. Well, football season ends, unfortunately. Now, look, I know there's a bowl game, but the way I view bowl games as standalone seasons and into of themselves. It's really not indicative of much that happened during the season for your football team. So I think right now the 2024 football season has come to a close, and we'll have some single game standalone thing sometime later on this month. And we're not sure exactly what game it's going to be. Birmingham probably the destination, but we'll find that out. The season ends the way that so many recent seasons have ended, with a loss to the Missouri Tigers. Much better game this year than last year. Arkansas had a lot more to play for, and I just think overall it was a better football team than last year. But a little bit of the same old story. Not a little bit of the same old story, Matt. It is the same old story for Arkansas against Mizzou. And really in the context of this year's football season, it was the same old story of might have been good enough to win that game. Might have been just as talented as you needed to be to win that game in certain places. But if you can't hold on to the ball, you're not going to win games. And that turns out to be the overarching difference in wins and losses in a 6-6 season this year. Flat out, though, there's all these other things you can point to. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, didn't. It's the turnovers. That is the defining aspect of the football season this year. Arkansas had so much trouble holding on to the ball and didn't create enough turnovers. And I don't think it's just about the turnovers by the offense. I think it's also a lack of splash plays by Arkansas's defense, which played very well to a point against Missouri, but just didn't make enough big plays, and Missouri's defense did make enough big plays. It sucks that it comes down to turnovers this year, Matt, because isn't that what we heard week after week? We got to stop letting go of the ball. We figure out these fumbles and everything, and the team never did figure it out this year.
Yeah, turnovers, that's the key word. Come see, come saw. That should just go by 6-6 right there. But, a couple bright spots. I'm a fan of Armstrong. I mean, I think that dude, he was such a joy to watch. And to see him get better from last year to this year, big time. Wish him well. Wish him the most success. Man, he was fun. He gave it all out there. He was a tough SOB, man. That dude, he'd be one of those dudes that if Armstrong's picking, I mean, if you're team captain, you're picking Armstrong first. You want him on your team. Proud of Armstrong. I thought, man, sorry, he started to grow on me. I don't know if he's coming back or not, but you start looking at some pieces that could be coming back, and and then wishing some guys well. Jaquindon Jackson, wish him well, and then what's the latest on Landon Jackson, because that was kind of scary.
Well, he was able to head back to Fayetteville with the team after Saturday's game. So they released him out of the hospital. And I know that by the time that he had been carted off the field, we were told that he had already regained feeling in his arms and legs, was moving them.
It looked like a stinger to me. Whenever I watched it, it just like, and those things that shoot down your spine all the way to your toes, so it's like if you haven't really ever had one before, and then if it's kind of with a little bit of a concussion, you might not know what just happened, and that's what it kind of looked like. So hopefully he'll be able to move around.
Well, that was obviously the worst thing to see Saturday, especially with what he's got coming in the future, but it does look like he'll be all right. And I assume that, it's not an assumption. That is the last game he'll play at Arkansas. It's the last game Armstrong's going to play at Arkansas. He already basically said,
and Jaquindon Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, all of those guys. That's why I don't look at this bowl game coming up as an extension of this season.
The practice is what you want. You want to see Anthony get better. You want to see Satania get better. You're not worried about guys like Luke Hawes. You're worried about your other tight ends and some of your other running backs and definitely some receivers, because hopefully you can use that in the portal. Like say, hey, look what Armstrong just did. We got our quarterback coming back. Can't you go out there and maybe pluck some receiver that's comparable to Armstrong?
Well, there'll be a little drip drab this week of players that make their announcements that they're heading into the portal. We'll have a sense of that beginning on Monday when the portal does open for I think it's a 30-day period. And look, I think I'm disappointed with the way the season ended. There's no two ways about it. Losing the last 3 SEC games, and truly, I did think that the win over Tennessee, it wasn't like that was a thing that made me think you're going to become a playoff contender and win 10 games or anything like that. But I did think that an upset over a playoff team, and Tennessee's going to be in the playoff, does show Arkansas's got the kind of talent that they could have upset another team out there. I think Missouri could have been that team. Heck, Texas could have been that team too. It's a disappointing end to a season that was just enough better than last year to, I guess, keep certain people satisfied, to where I think things are going to be somewhat status quo isn't the right word, because obviously now you get these rumors, not even rumors. You're seeing photos of Bobby Petrino in airports headed towards Charlotte, where apparently he's interviewing for the head coaching job at North Carolina Charlotte. I think Travis Williams will have a target for other teams that might be looking for a defensive coordinator. Who knows if Florida State may be looking for one like that.
Would you go to Florida State? Is that a better job than Arkansas?
I don't know if I'd say it is a better job, but you never quite know.
What's the resources? I guess what's the NIL resource? What's going? I mean, there's a different way to look at it, but I don't know that being the D coordinator at Florida State would necessarily be a better job. I mean, you're going to be in a talent bed. You think he's an Auburn guy, Atlanta guy, Florida guy, just recruiting. That's the thing about Williams is he's our best recruiter. It's tough when you lose your best recruiter.
Well, all that to say, I was just going to get to the idea that this was not a good season. You can't look at this and say 6-6 bowl game, this is what we wanted. Getting to a bowl game should be the absolute floor of the goals that you're reaching for, and that's the goal that they reached. And look, 3-5 in the SEC is a heck of a lot better than 1-7. 6-6 is better than 4-8. If you just watched the games this year, you knew that it was a better team overall. Still, it's not a good season. This is, Matt, to borrow your term, comme ci, comme ça. It's okay. This is an okay season. You beat one really good team in Tennessee. I think if you go to the playoff, I can call you really good. One really good team. You lost to a team that, when we look back at it, maybe had no business losing against Oklahoma State. And it does feel like there were some potential wins left on the table. Oklahoma State, A&M, Missouri, to name 3 of them. And I'm not saying, look, you could have gone 9-3, it could have been 10-2, but there were a couple of the losses out there that I think were on the table to pull off a victory. So 6-6 is the kind of thing where it's all these rumors that Sam Pittman is going to have a press conference today at 3:00. He's going to announce his retirement and all. None of that is about to happen. None of that is about to happen. This whole hip surgery thing, look, that has nothing to do with whether or not he's going to be the head coach moving forward. In fact, the timing of when he's having this surgery is exactly the right timing for somebody that can't walk right now and wants to be engaged in getting things ready for the portal to open up and to go get other players. And if you got to sign a new offensive coordinator, be ready to do interviews. So I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think the rumors about a 3 o'clock press conference in some people's minds are really just hopeful thinking. It's not happening. But I'm also not the person that's going to stand here and tell you that you should be happy with a 6-6 season, that you should be happy with a Birmingham Bowl or wherever it's going to be. I honestly don't believe either that anybody in that locker room is satisfied with the way things finished, or the administration as well. So I want to know what you guys think about this season, this program, where everything fits into it now, and opinions about who should be the coach moving forward. That's fair game right now. But I'm not going to be the person standing here calling for somebody's job, because I don't think that in this climate of college coaching, of college football, really of college sports overall, that a 6-6 season, 3 of 5 in the SEC after you were miserable last year, literally one of the worst teams in Power 5 last year, it's not the time to make that kind of a change. Financial reasons may be one top mind reason, but I want to know what you think about it. We'll take your calls and texts all throughout the show. We do have our guests, but we'll get to you when the chance arises, and we're going to have a lot of chances for that, including coming up in the very next segment, 877-377-6963. Stay with us. We'll get through some of your calls, some of your texts in just a minute on Halftime.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is Halftime.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else includes a standard 5-year warranty on all ATVs. Right now, it's the Segway Season of Savings event going on. You can choose between 0.99% financing for 36 months or up to $3,000 off select UTV models in stock with payments as low as $199 per month. This offer ends soon. High-tech power sports and affordability for all adventure enthusiasts. Segway. Fear no place. Visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders, AutoFindersOK.com. Adventure Dave says your journey starts here.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It is the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Aaron, what's going on this month?
We have new Polaris units on our lot, such as the Ranger XD 1500, the Sportsman 6x6, and the Razor Pro S. We have discounts here for the 2024 Polarises that have up to $6,000 off the original price. If you guys have any questions, call me or text me at 479-783-5822.
Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Are you ready to ride like a rock star? Then contact Luxury Limousines. Their 28-foot stretch limousines set up to 8 people. Once you're inside, enjoy superior sound, enhanced lighting, ice-cold AC, plus your own chauffeur to take you anywhere. College games, concerts, special events, and the upcoming Christmas holiday light tour. Just go to Facebook and like Luxury Limousine. Serving Fort Smith and all of Northwest Arkansas. Luxury Limousines.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Into your heart, hurting. Wonder till you reach your destination. See,
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Frustrating. I mean, very frustrating. I mean, we work ball security every week and put an emphasis on it. And that's part of our ways that keys to our ways we can win. And we knew today with the weather, how it was, if, whoever turns the ball over less is going to win. And that's kind of exactly what happened.
This is Sam Pittman after Saturday's game about the fumbles. And I mean, it's kind of an answer that you'd heard before because it is a week-by-week problem. 28 times Arkansas fumbled the football this year. 28 led the nation. Now, that's not number of fumbles recovered by the opponent. Arkansas lost 13 of those fumbles, which also was amongst the league leaders. But it's the 28. It's the number 28 that really does get me a little bit because it isn't just this year. This is a problem in Sam's tenure at Arkansas. It isn't just this year. I do think that 28 times fumbling the football in 12 games has to be some kind of an Arkansas record. I can't imagine that there'd been a team at Arkansas that had fumbled the ball more than about 2.5 times per game. But it's a 5-year thing. So, and you get a text here from Chris in Springdale that is frustrated at Sam's answer the other day that he says, if I knew the answer, we'd fix it. And right now, nobody knows the answer, but something's happening, and I don't know what it is. 60 games that Sam's been the head coach at Arkansas. The team has fumbled the ball 109 times. They've lost 47 of them, but that's almost 2 per game. And is it protection? Is it offensive line? I look at the 2 fumbles that they lost in this last game, Matt, and I don't really think it's much about the offensive line necessarily. I think the fumble with Jackson was him straining for another yard, and he's had issues with it. The fumble by Green, look, there was pressure on him, but he just seems to be a little bit loose with the ball sometimes. So protection was a little bit of an aspect of it. But Matt, you hear him say right there, it's one of the keys that they talk about. It's something they work on week by week, but still 109 times in 60 games in these last 5 years. This was the worst year of it, and those 28 fumbles, that is the reason that Arkansas finishes 6-6 instead of 7-5 or 8-4.
I'm changing footballs next year. Whoever our company that does our footballs, we got to go. We got to try something new. I mean, you got to work ball security drills every single day, and it is an emphasis. But let's change. I mean, because that's just like a video game type of number. There's no reason you should be putting the ball on the turf 2 times a game.
It was 24 last year in 12 games. Now think of so many different ball handlers from last year. You know, you're different running backs. You had the same top receiver, but it doesn't quite make sense. How do you work on this kind of?
You don't win
talked
doing
about
that.
this
That's
before.
not winning football. You can't win.
Well, you and I have talked about this before. How is it? The talent, the 5 points of pressure, and all of these guys know that. That's elementary, like Pop Warner football stuff, and it's understood too. Look, the defense is trying to jar the ball loose. Those I'm always told those guys have scholarships too. They work out too. They're coming after the ball, but that's not the reason that they fumbled it 28 times. It's like I go to baseball sometimes with this. It's the same idea as with a team that's kind of bad with base running. You're going to force the issue of your opponent sometimes, force the good throw, and sometimes they're going to make that throw. But over the course of an entire season, if you're continuously running yourself into 1 or 2 outs per game, that's emblematic of a problem. It's not just the other team making plays. It's emblematic of some sloppiness. Over 60 games, I can't put it any other way. And this year was the same thing. Sloppy with protecting the football. And I don't know how you get out of that. Because it sounds like, Matt, it's something that they really do try to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't know what to say either. It's just you can't win if you're going to put the ball on the turf. Like I said, I'm not superstitious, a little stitious. We're going to have a different football next year. We got to try something new. I thought run blocking, our offensive line was pretty solid. I thought, you look at our better players. I thought our running backs were kind of our better players. It's easier to run block than it is to pass block. And we were better at run blocking than pass blocking. You'd think maybe we could have ran the ball a little bit more throughout the season.
CJ just let us know this, C Unit. I think you're right about this too, Christian. It was the UAPB game. First play of the season was fumbled.
We should have known there.
I'd have to go back and check on that. I remember thinking to myself the same thing, too, at the game in Little Rock, Christian. Like, I don't believe that, the first play of the season is going to be emblematic of what happens for the year. It's like Major League, the little check swing single by Willie Mays Hayes, and the next thing you know, it's going to be World Series and all that. Then he gets thrown out trying to steal second base or picked off at first base. But if that's the case, if the first play of how many offensive snaps did Arkansas have this year? They ran 842 plays, fumbled 28. If the first of those 842 plays was a fumble, maybe we should have known.
Does Taylon Green go with Bobby Petrino to Charlotte?
I would have a really difficult time comprehending the idea of a quarterback following an offensive coordinator from the SEC to. Is Charlotte in Conference USA? Something like that?
I mean, you're getting the tutelage that you're wanting. You're getting the teaching. You're staying in the film room. Your familiarity. I mean, you're kind of getting. I know it's a drop in classification or in talents, but you're getting the same teaching. So do they have that type of relationship? That's the thing. Are they going to be able to, give the quarterback? I'm pretty sure he's going to get a raise. As far as Taylon Green is.
Let's take a couple of calls. We got 4 of them lined up. 877-377-6963. Andy in Bentonville is first up. Good morning, Andy. Happy Monday. How are you?
Well, pretty good. It's been a good day so far. I've been on the VA campus doing a little bit of work, and I've had enough therapy, so I'm headed off to the donut shop for a while. Did I miss something? So Bobby Petrino's going to Charlotte? Is that what's going on?
No, he's a candidate. He's a candidate for the head coaching job there. That's what's being reported. I think he might be. I saw a photo on, I think it was Instagram of him in an airport.
I've lived in Charlotte for 7 years, which is a beautiful city, but it's not a football city. It would be Taylon's demise to go and to do anything for Charlotte to play football. But my question more is for Matt. And let's just talk quarterbacks it's like every year the trophy-wide beauty pageant with the QBs that come out. One of them is going to be Quinn, the Ayers guy, come out of Texas this year, which did not have a very good game, we'll say, this past Saturday. How is it every year they pick these top-notch so-called quarterbacks like a Justin Fields, then they don't have an offensive line, and they're traded off to somebody. Matt, is he not that good, or is there just 25, you know what I mean, 25 out of 32 good quarterbacks in the league, and the rest are just subpar? Is that how it is? If they're that good?
That's a good question because there's not 32 NFL quarterbacks. You know, I like the kid out of Memphis as well, and I think we fall in trouble with drafting like the best quarterback on the best team, and then you got to remember this is kind of the old Alabama theory with all their quarterbacks. You have the better talent, you don't ever have any stressful plays, and then all of a sudden you go to the worst team where now you're kind of fighting for your life. But I do think Quinn Ewers is extremely talented. I do. I think Cam Ward is talented. I like the kid from Memphis as well. But there's to answer your questions, there's not 32 NFL quarterbacks. That's why there's a premium on them.
I'm a guy who played high school football. Me and my guys just always talk about it. They're saying, how good do you have to be in that top tier league? Because there's not 32 top tier in the NFL, as we all know. Hey, well, anyway, Matt, thank you guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you got it, Andy. Thanks for the call. Again, it's 877-377-6963. Big Keith is up next. Big Keith is in the house. Hello, Big Keith.
Big Keith up in the house. What's
Sorry,
going
I
on,
took
Matt?
the line from you for a moment.
Yo.
That's all right, buddy. It's all good. Everybody doing all right today? How was your Thanksgiving?
Dude, I ate plenty. Drove about 12 hours. Was there for a football game. Slept a little bit. It was pretty good 4-day weekend, if you want to call it that. Working weekend.
Well, that's good. That's good. Hey, I got a couple things I want to say. First, I want to say, I want your guys' opinion. I don't see any improvement of Arkansas in, I don't know how long it's been. Probably not since right after Matt quit playing. I mean, we keep on getting either right at bowl level or one or two games ahead. We never get up in the top 2 or 3, in the SEC, which it just doesn't seem we never improve. And I thought with portal that we would be getting improvement. We would have a better team and better pull people from different places and make a better team, but it doesn't seem like we're doing that. And I wanted your opinion on that. And then the last thing I was going to say before I get off is I seen a picture of Bobby Petrino going over there for that interview. He was on a motorcycle. Have a good day.
Chuckle. Anybody that's driving riding a motorcycle from here to Charlotte with this cold right now is crazy. Look, I mean, so Petrino had a couple of monster years at Arkansas, but didn't make it to playoff 12. Or I think back then it was still BCS. But those teams would have ended up in a playoff 12.
10 wins in the SEC. You're going. Yep. Yes, sir.
That's 2 years you'd have been in the playoff for a 12-team playoff. But there's never a guarantee that the portal means that, because you can have, if you want to call it college free agency, that means you'll end up jumping up to the top of the league. NIL goes along with it. And I do think Arkansas's NIL is in a much better situation than they were last year. But I don't think enough to change. I think the way that nationally Arkansas is perceived by younger football players or even players that are in college football right now, I think they viewed Ole Miss that way. I think the portal and NIL changed some folks' ideas of what Ole Miss football is, and they put all that money into it, and they're going to end up probably in the Music City Bowl or the Citrus Bowl. So I don't know. It's more indicative of an idea that this is just a really difficult league to win in over the 30-plus years you've been in it, and the success Arkansas had in the Southwest Conference compared to the success in the SEC, I think, does show that a little. Although one thing, and I was going to point this out later, this is kind of interesting to look at. The teams that finished in first place in the Big 12, the Big 10, SEC, and ACC were all newcomers to their league this year. Arizona State has the tiebreaker in terms there were like 4 teams that had the same record at the top of those standings. Arizona State had the tiebreaker, so they're in first place there. That's a team that just came out of the Pac-12. Texas wins the regular season SEC championship, even though I don't think they view it that way. Nobody does. It's their first year in this league. Same with Oregon in the Big Ten. Same with SMU in the ACC. So and we just have to I think what we have to do right now is we have to take our understanding of what these logos meant to us before. You got to ball them up. You got to throw them in the trash. And it's a new reality of college football, which, by the way, changes all over again in 2025 with revenue share. Let's take Pinto's phone call, then we'll break. Pinto, thanks for calling. How are you today?
I'm great, man. Thank you. How, Matt, wasn't Danny Nutt your running back?
Yes,
coach
sir.
when you were there? Didn't we go like 0 fumbles in a year?
Danny
Set a
Nutt was
record.
the man. That's right. I love some Danny Nutt.
0 in a year?
I don't know about that, but he's.
Hey, we're going to go back. I haven't researched it, but I think I do remember. It was either 0 or 1, and it was like a national, record. They talked about it nationally. And if I'm not mistaken, part of it was, man, if you fumbled, you didn't play.
You guys remember there was
yeah, we
there
had
was
a lot of
season-
running backs that were good. They just put the next guy up. Yeah,
I think there was a season where Tiki Barber, like the year before, 2 years before,
They
just
won
was
the
always
Super Bowl.
coughing the ball up.
Mhm.
The next thing you know, and I think it was the second year they won the Super Bowl with him and Eli, he's holding the ball up, like kind of up or like curling it in much more than he was the year before. And he got so sick and tired of answering questions about how he's holding the ball and fumbling. I remember him going off on a reporter about it because he was sick and tired of talking about it. Because that was the number one question he got asked. You're holding the ball different now, Tiki. They're like, I don't know how to cure the fumble issues at Arkansas. I just know that there is one, and you can't say it's just about 1 year or one game.
it's kind of like being bad at the foul line. And I actually think Tiki Barber retired and they won the Super Bowl the next year. I don't.
That's
think
what it was. You're right.
He didn't win any of them. Yeah.
It was a whole different philosophy of offense back when Houston Dale was a coach, and that was field position and eliminate turnovers. You take care of field position and eliminate turnovers.
If you win the time, you're right. You win the time of possession. You know what the other team can't do if they don't have the ball? They can't put any points on the board.
That's right. And so now it's score at all cost, and there's just not that much emphasis put on. What's Coach Nutt's favorite saying? What's the most precious thing we have in a football game? The ball. That's the most precious thing. Evidently, it's not. There's no consequence if you fumble. That's just what I'm kind of getting at. I believe they even made them carry a ball around with them to class every day if they fumbled.
Pinto, thanks for your phone call. I appreciate it. We've got a break here because we're right up against it. 877-377-6963. Yeah. In the losses, in the 6 losses this year, the turnover margin was 15 takeaways by the opponent, 1 for the Razorbacks. We're brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the dealership that's been serving our listening audience for over 7 decades right now. They're at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, right beside the Cracker Barrel. It's Crabtree RV Center. You're going to make sure your family picks the perfect RV for the adventures you describe to them. Everything you need in between. They've got the service and parts department on site at Crabtree RV, also online at crabtreerv.com. And Halftime is back right after this.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday buy one, get one personal training specials. And new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about our giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill, ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness, Rye Hill.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Jason Hill in Greenwood or Agent Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Always appreciate time from Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. We've got him here on our hotline here for this segment on Halftime. Mike, good morning and a happy Monday to you. What's going on?
Oh, man, going back to last night into early this morning, just more crazy internet nonsense out there. I mean, when I went to bed last night, if you believed what was on the internet, Sam Pittman was going to have a press conference at 3 o'clock to announce his retirement. Bobby Petrino was going to Charlotte as the head coach. Travis Williams was going to become the defensive coordinator at Florida State. Well, it's pretty much been reaffirmed today that the source of that 3 o'clock press conference thing was supposed to be Randy Rainwater, and he said, I never said that. I don't know where that came from. A national writer just about 15 minutes ago affirmed that Pittman will be back. There's never been any indication that he wouldn't be. Travis Williams, that rumor, supposedly now the Nebraska defensive coordinator is the head leading candidate for that job, and looks like he'll be hired. The only one still out there is Petrino. It does look like he went to Charlotte yesterday and interviewed for the job, but he's apparently back here in Fayetteville in his office this morning, and there's been no word that he's taken that job. So that's where we're at right now. It's been a crazy past several hours.
Well, it certainly has been, and man, that just should be indicative of what December is like in college football. And we might as well, day after the first the season ends, have some craziness too. Well, give me your overall thoughts on the football season that has just concluded. You know, Matt and I have been kicking around the idea that the defining characteristic are turnovers and specifically fumbles, but there's some that can be a symptom of other issues, going on when it comes to how you're protecting your quarterback. And I also think you had a defense that was good, but just did not make enough big plays.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Missouri game, you can say that, once again, turnovers cost them a football game. But when your offense comes back and gives you the lead with 4 minutes to go in the game, and your defense can't stop Missouri, that's not entirely on your offense. And even when you came back with 1 minute and 50 seconds left and put the ball in the hands of a wide receiver in the end zone with 6 seconds left and it got knocked away, I mean, you're very close to winning that game. And there are people that are insisting, continue to insist, because they have an agenda that this team is no better than last year. Well, last year you got beat by Missouri 48-14. Here, you got beat by Auburn 48-10. Here, you beat Auburn at Auburn, and you almost beat Missouri at Missouri. So there's no question this team is better. But those turnovers and the mistakes certainly took what could have been an eight-win season, whatever, and turned it into a 6-win season. And that's frustrating. I understand why people are frustrated. This whole business of turnovers, guys, I know they work on it every day, but I believe that certain athletes are turnover prone, and it's a habit, and just because you work on it in practice doesn't mean you get in the game and, you're not sitting there thinking every second about ball security. And also, there are some fumbles that I'm just telling you, ball security, whatever, they're going to happen. That Taylon Green fumble in the Missouri game, he was moving around. He had started to his right and moved back to his left. When you're running, I wonder if fans think that when you're in a game, you do that ball security drill where your arms are in and one of the hands is on the ball and you're trying to run like that. How could you get anywhere like that? When you're running, your arms are swinging free, and that ball is not always secure. And especially if somebody comes up from behind and you don't see them, they can knock it out of the way. So there are reasons for fumbles that don't really have anything to do with coaching. They didn't coach you not to do that. You can't protect the ball 100% and get anywhere when you have it if you're trying to move with it. You just can't.
Mike, I guess what was was there a favorite moment? Was it the win against Tennessee? Was it just the joy of watching Armstrong play? I think Armstrong is easily an all-SEC player. I don't know if he has the touchdowns, but kind of what was your favorite moment of this Razorback football season?
I don't think there was a favorite moment, but I certainly enjoyed the plays that Taylon Green made when he was doing things right, because he was exciting to watch. I mean, yes, it's frustrating when he fumbles. It's frustrating when he looks right at a receiver and throws it. It's a 12-yard pass, and he throws it behind the guy. The lack of consistent focus was frustrating. But when this guy was doing what he was doing in that last drive, 1 minute and 58 seconds left against Missouri, and you've got to figure out how to get down the field, and you've got to throw some chunk plays, and especially that pass that ended with 6 seconds left, that was, unless there was a great play by one of those D-backs, that would have won the game. And he threw that pass, and it was on target, and he was on the run being chased. So when he did those things, you were looking at him and going, "Wow, look at how that guy is when he does." But then you start asking, "Why did he do this?" It's just it was just up and down.
What are you looking for? Well, I guess some of this has to do with what are you going to lose in the portal? I mean, I'd be a little nervous about maybe Sorey if somebody comes around with a little extra money. I'd put a lot of resources into him. You need another receiver. I think maybe if you're looking top of the list, there's probably got to be some competition at tackle, and absolutely have to have somebody that you can view as a number one receiver. I don't think that player is on the team currently.
No, I'm with you. In our worst group again this year, Mike, we talked about it last year, is our offensive line. Well, I think they're better than they were last year, but if you're doing grades and you're just calling it what it is, we have to get better on the offensive front.
Yeah, they got to bring in some guys, and I think they've got to come up with a couple of receivers, maybe more than that. I'm not so sure you won't lose a tight end. I worry about Luke Hasz because they didn't target him much this year, and he's good. So there's no indication that he's leaving, but I think you got to figure out a way to keep him and maybe even bring in another tight end. I don't know what happens at quarterback. I'm not saying it's for certain, that Taylen Green comes back or that he keeps the job. What if Petrino leaves? What does Taylen Green do?
I think he goes with him. I think if Petrino goes, I think he takes his quarterback with him.
Yeah, that could very well happen. And then that would make a lot of fans happy that think, whatever, that Singleton's better. But
the other side.
The only thing I would say about all this portal stuff, and it's going to start happening, there's already projections of this guy's going to leave, whatever. Sam Pittman said a week ago they've got more NIL money available now, that he is in a better position than he was a year ago at this time. So we will see if that money gets you a better portal class, because that is what really will decide that. And then next spring, when the portal opens after spring football, then you've got this, money available through the school and through revenue sharing. And that may help, bring in more people. So it's not the recruiting, because their recruiting class is 15th out of 16 in the SEC right now. They are trying to rebuild this team for next year through the portal.
You think, what was it, like maybe 55 new players this year with the incoming class and the transfers? You see something like that, the same amount maybe for next year?
Absolutely could be. You do what you have to do, and whether or not this team, they improved. They just didn't improve as much as some fans wanted. But this season was an improvement. Now, can you do it again? Because I don't believe the answer is always you're going to just suddenly go from 4 wins to 9 in 1 year. Logic dictates that you do this in stages. But it's just gotten so difficult. I personally believe the SEC overreached when they brought in these 2 new teams. The league is too tough right now. It's too tough in football. It's going to be too tough in basketball. It's going to be too tough in baseball. They're all going to beat each other up. And what's it going to do at the end of the year? It is going to reduce the seedings of a lot of these SEC teams because they have lost to each other. And, I've got people telling me, well, they can't screw them too bad in the college playoffs because the SEC and the Big Ten have already threatened if we don't get enough of our people in, we'll just do our own playoff. We don't need you. So that may be an answer there, but that doesn't solve the basketball or baseball problem or women's basketball or other sports, softball, whatever. It's just so good now that you look. And then I ask myself, who wants to come into this league and coach? Everybody thought, Rhett Lashley, yeah, he's a Springdale kid. He was at Arkansas. Yeah, he'll come back. You got to be kidding me. Why would he want to walk into this meat grinder? He's got it made where he is. I just think the allure of the SEC may be gone from coaches who are smart and understand you don't want to take a job and go into this meat grinder.
Mike, we got to run here for a moment. I got to grind some meat over in the kitchen during the commercial break. So looking forward to having you next week. Thank you.
Okay. All right. See you.
Mike Irwin with us each Monday from Pig Trail Nation. 877-377-6963 to get with us. Stay with us. Halftime wraps up hour number 1 in just a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
This is halftime.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the Mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your customer buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time was drifting, this rock got to roll. So I hit the road and made my getaway. Restless feeling, really got a hold. I started searching for a better way.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, really short segment here, just because we had a lengthy interview there with Mike Irwin. I do enjoy watching Matt Jones dance on my FaceTime, though, to this song that we
couldn't get it right.
You've got some good
That's the Razorbacks. We just couldn't get it right, man.
That's exactly right. Couldn't quite get it right. Not quite. Arkansas finished in 11th place if you were to look at the standings, and they do have a tiebreaker over Vanderbilt because of the win over Tennessee, and Vandy lost to Tennessee. So Arkansas finishes in 11th place in the SEC. They're going by the conference standings, not the overall record, of course. And hey, it's better than where they finished last year. So again, it's another instance of could the word be incremental improvement? 2 more SEC wins and 3 more wins overall, or 2 more wins overall for now. That's incremental. Hopefully a bigger jump next year. Well, if you keep going incrementally, maybe you get to 7 or 8 wins next season and maybe 4-4 in the SEC, which would be better. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on halftime. We'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center in about 20 minutes. So you can get with us after the top of the hour break on halftime. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures in the upper 40s north, upper 50s south, with temperatures across the north falling into the lower 40s. Clear skies. We're going to cool things down all the way in the low to mid 20s overnight. Sunshine Tuesday, a high well into the middle 40s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Coach said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, we get into our second hour, 1 minute after 12 o'clock. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, C Unit in the studios, and we'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down in about 15 minutes with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center. Definitely feels like a Wednesday today. Or, see, these 4-day things, these 4-day holidays, once we get into Christmas time, I think we have a 2-day break right in the middle of a week. These things really do screw me up. Because, well, it was easier for me to get out of bed because even the other day, Matt, I told you Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, I was going to force myself to stay in bed until 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Got out at 7:30. Couldn't do it. I was up at 7, tried to lay there for 30 minutes looking around on my phone, didn't even feel like turning the television on, and at some point I had to get out and move, and it was, more than anything, it was the thought of the first sip of coffee that got me out of bed. But I just don't do that thing very well. And then there's the day after the 4-day holiday. We're trying to
get the kids back to school.
Yeah, like get them up and get your zombies ready to go again. It's tougher for them than it is for me, but it's just getting everything together for a show. We haven't done it for 4 days. It just takes a little bit of time to get going. You feeling good today? Does it take you a little bit of time to start the engine?
Absolutely, man. Those 4 days went by pretty quick. It's like we could have used another 4 days, but then it's think back just to be here conversing with you and in the unit, and then 45 later. What else do I want to do, man? There was it's pretty cool. 4 days in sports, a lot to get to. So yeah, man, lot of fun soccer games, a lot of just the rivalries in college football was crazy. Didn't we have a guy come on here and say San Jose State wasn't going to beat Stanford? He did all the it might have been Grant Hall. He was like, he did all the rivalry things and said all the states. He goes, now San Jose State won't be. You know who beat Stanford? San Jose State. I mean,
get out.
Who would have thunk that Michigan was going to beat Ohio? Ohio State and Clemson both limp into their championship games. But is Ohio State, or do you think they're sitting right because it's going to be Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State in? But you look at those teams kind of limping into their championship game.
Oh, Penn State's the team that gets in. Penn State got in over Ohio State.
But I mean to the playoff 12.
Oh, into the playoff, yeah.
Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon will be the but yes, it's Penn State, Oregon. So Penn State's playing for a bye. And does anybody believe Jimmy Franklin? This is his biggest game. He's it's the number one team in the country.
There's one more big game to lose. The Ohio State thing is crazy because they're going to be in the playoff. I mean, with 2 losses, they'll be in. But if they don't win a national championship, I just don't know how Ryan Day can continue there with this outcry from everybody. I mean, he's got this amazing winning percentage against everybody that is not Michigan. It's absolute craziness. But you can't get rid of a coach who goes to the playoff, right? I mean, they're going to be in that playoff. And who knows? They're still just as talented as they were before, and they won't have to play a team like Michigan that views them as that rival. That was crazy. And the flag planting thing, like so we get this issue with field storming and everything, and the security of the players and all of that. And then I can't go off against field storming when you have players that if you plant a flag at midfield against any opponent,
expect to get your ass whooped.
What do you think is about to happen?
Expect that's going to happen. You got to be ready for it.
If the machismo of planting a flag at midfield overtakes the idea of you're about to start a melee, then I don't care if fans run on the field or not. And I wouldn't care about your safety at that point either, because I don't think those guys do it. I don't think they do either. You're trying to start a fight. What do you think you are? Paul Bissonnette? We got Brent and Cersei with us. Let's take a couple of calls.
Spitting chiclets?
Yeah, don't spit any chiclets on that football field, man. It'll happen. Brent, how are your chiclets today?
My chicklets are pretty good. Pretty good. Long time no talk to Phil and Matt. How are you guys?
Great, man. Yeah, it's good to hear from you.
I've got questions.
Well, I don't know if I have answers, but we'll take your questions.
My question is, I know our proverbial powers that be have said Sam Pittman's staying. I know all that, but I must say, and I want your honest opinion, Matt and Phil. I believe it is time for a change. Can y'all give me your honest opinion?
Well, who are we changing to? I like our two deep. If you're able to keep your OC in DC, you know your schedule. You got your quarterback coming back. Can you go pluck some people? Do you just if it's all of an overhaul? Who are you looking at? Like what? The Indiana coach, he's the new hotness. I don't know who's, would you go back Barry Odom? UNLV's been doing pretty good. Can you get Rhett Lashley? I don't think so. I think he's got more resources and money in down there in Dallas than he'll ever have in Fayetteville.
I don't know who we go get, but my thoughts is, and Coach Pittman's a good man. I like him. But I think he's taken this program 6-6 is the best we can do.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think that with this coaching staff, the best you can get is 6-6. I think with the kind of talent that they put together, it's a team that I think should have been better than 6-6. If you put it on the coaches for the 6-6 record, that's a different thing.
The coaches fumbled the ball 0 times, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I also look at it this way: our coaches don't take care of the little things. We need to preach ball security to our players. We led the nation in fumbles. That is unacceptable. Missouri was in the same weather conditions that we were, and they turned it over 0 times.
Yeah, I don't think the weather had anything to do with the turnovers, and I think, Brent, I mean, we brought it up earlier in the show. I think that this, and it's good to hear from you, Brent. Thank you very much. I think it's indicative of just an overall issue with the program. And I played the press conference clip from Sam on Saturday where he's talked. We discussed this. We talk about ball security being one of the major keys to victory. We work on ball security drills. I mean, I don't think there would be a coach in the country that doesn't try to preach these very things, even if you aren't having trouble holding onto the ball. But what I see is a program that just has issues with ball security over the 5 years that Sam's been there. And do I put it on him? I mean, some of this is on position coaches or how they're teaching it. But maybe the point that Brent is getting to is just an idea of sloppiness when it comes to how you're handling protecting the football. And if there are 109 fumbles in the 60 games played since 2020, I think there is some sloppiness with how they're trying to protect the football. It's not the weather. And it's not just the opponent making plays. I think the 109 is indicative of a pattern, and a pattern that they're not sure how to fix, because Sam said if he knew how to fix it, it'd have been fixed by now. I agree with that. Charlie's up next. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Yeah, I want to say this too. Like, people can't actually think that they don't preach that, right? I mean, come on. I mean, what are they going to do? Practice ball security the whole day? I mean, you got a game plan. You got to do other things. I mean, if people don't think that they're not preaching that, they're fooling themselves. I mean,
I think where some folks are looking, though, Charlie, is the idea of like, all right, so Taylon's had issues fumbling. If he keeps fumbling, we're going to make a change. I think Boise State did that last year. With Jaquindon Jackson, he's had an issue fumbling the ball. Well, we're going to make a change, get somebody else the ball. Nobody else is better running the ball than Jaquindon Jackson on this team. And Taylon Green's talents, I think he's the kind of quarterback where it's like, well, you got to take the good with the bad. The ball security is a problem for him, but then some of the things that he does, which he didn't really do all that often against Missouri when he gets out and open, are real game-changing kind of plays. So, but I agree, Charlie. I mean, there's no way that it isn't something that is just brought up ad nauseum. It just isn't. It doesn't have the effect that I think they want it to.
And it's the same with the pre-snap penalties. I mean, those drive me crazy too. Like as a coach, I understand some of the holdings and the PIs. I've always, those are kind of. But when you're jumping, and I get on the road, it's really hard. I get that. Those drive me nuts. So, and that's just me. And our coach used to always say, if you see a guy's back, please do not push it. If you're on special teams and you're running back, some of those things, I think what they're trying to do is it's like every year, Phil, and I don't like comparing years because you talked about this too, but there is certain patterns where I think people are trying to blame Sam, and they're trying to say it's like every year there's something new where it's like this year we could point at turnovers, right? And obviously, but I will say this too, and I don't. Why are the turnovers happening? Yes, there's some ball security issues, but guys, has been some times this year. Now DeBinion, I do worry about the way he carries the ball. By the way, sometimes he kind of carries it out a little bit. Matt, I don't know if you've noticed it with him, and teams see that, and they're going to put their helmet in there and knock it out. But with us coming in there at times, when we come in and try to knock the ball out, it looks like we're always trying to go for the strip, so to speak. Those ones that the defense are forcing when they're coming in with their helmet and they're laying it right on the ball, those are tough for me to be like, you know what, the offensive player should have held on that a little bit. Like the one to Armstrong last week, I thought that was a great play by La Tech. That's just me. And the way I look at some turnovers are truly forced. Also, let's think about this. At the line of scrimmage, okay, a defensive line that can cause havoc a lot of times is the reason people fumble more or throw more interceptions. And I'm not trying to knock our guys, but how are we creating havoc? Well, we have to blitz a lot. And there's a difference between having to blitz because you want to do it out of necessity, or you want to blitz because you can, compared to you have to blitz to get pressure. Teams know that. We have one guy that can go get the quarterback. And I just think that's part of it too. Like, we've got to get to a point, guys, where at the line of scrimmage, I know they don't grow on trees, but we got to get to a point where we can get some defensive linemen that can impact the game, because I think that's the reason why they went to the 3 down front, guys. They don't want to say that, but I think they realize their best players were those linebackers and those hybrid players on the back end, and say, you know what, we're gonna roll with these guys, and then we can hold up against the run with just the 3 down front. That's just the way I feel. But they got to get better up front. That's what's going to be big this offseason, and we'll see what happens. Basketball team, they got 2 opportunities coming up. They need to get some quality wins. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate that. Yeah, basketball's in a world of hurt until you get Jonas Adu back, or until he can actually play like the player that he is. Same with Brazil. Look, I mean, Illinois played a great game. They shot the lights out. I don't know my box score in front of me, but you don't see a lot of teams that shoot like that. And Arkansas was able to put up a certain, I think offensively they played well enough. It's just giving up the first 11 points, you're usually going to lose those games. I think they're going to be in trouble until they're fully healthy, and sometimes that'll happen with a team that was, put together with the idea of just an 8 or 9 man rotation. But we'll get a chance to watch them tomorrow and see what happens. 877-377-6963 to get with us. We'll have 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett coming up in just a moment. If you're craving anything sweet and delicious, you can always get over to Andy's Frozen Custard on Rogers Avenue. They got you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Don't leave empty-handed. You can always take home a pick 6 with you. Just throw it in the freezer. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat at Andy's Frozen Custard. They're in Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive in Conway. If you find yourself in North Little Rock, they're on JFK Boulevard. It's Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. 3 Up, 3 Down in just a moment on Halftime.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
Hey, Wes.
Billy, P is for horses.
I have an idea to bring in more customers.
What you got?
We yell on the radio, "Woo! Pig Suey!"
We're going to call the Hogs?
Yeah, we call them all in. "Woo! Pig Suey! Come get your pizza at Jim's Razorback Pizza."
I'd rather not.
Don't you love the Hogs?
Of course. But we can't call our customers Hogs.
But they're Hog fans, and our name is Jim's Razorback Pizza.
Billy, I love your enthusiasm. Look it, if you think we should do it, then let's do it.
Woo! Pig Suey!
What about moo instead of woo? We use Wisconsin cheese.
Really? You and them dang cows. Woo! Pig Suey!
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I like coconuts, you can break them open, they smell like ladies lying in the sun. I like coconuts, break them open, they'll smell like ladies lying in the sun. If I had my way, I'd give a coconut to everyone.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Let's go to our phones and welcome in Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center as we get into 3 Up, 3 Down in a moment. Hey, Dr. Liggett, how you doing? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Man, we did. Thanks, guys. It was a nice little break.
Yeah. Nice little. So the office was closed for 4 days. That mean you're having just as much trouble getting back to work as I am today?
Oh, absolutely, man. Got a pile of stuff on my desk like crazy.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of turkey stuck in my teeth after Thursday, so I was good. Took about 3 days to get it all out with all of my various toothpicks and dental floss and everything. And as I go into that, it is time now for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What is 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Well, now that we've gotten to the end of the regular season for college football, we now have full season resumes to compare. And my first up goes to the Arizona State Sun Devils and head coach Kenny Dillingham, one of the youngest head coaches in college football. They go from finishing 3-9 last year. It is a total turnaround this year. 10 wins, 2 losses, an appearance in the Big 12 championship game, maybe a berth in the college football playoff. And Dillingham has a very special kind of intensity about him that you might have seen in various moments, not just on the sideline, but in the middle of the field. When was it last week, Arizona State's opponent was given an extra second for one last play. He does he's got the new kind of John Gruden crazy face, just not quite at the level of being Chucky, but he's pretty close to it. Got them big eyes, very big eyes. My first down goes to Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy for doing the opposite of what happened at Arizona State. 10 wins, 4 losses last year, 3-9 this year. Of course, one of those wins was against Arkansas. I hate that happened. Now that you look and they went winless in the Big 12. But it's worse for Mike Gundy than it is for Sam Pittman right now at Oklahoma State. Miserable season for the Cowboys. And they get my first down. Matt, what do you got? First one.
Oh, my goodness. All right. My first up goes to Andrew Armstrong, number 2. Razorback legend, man. No one stopped him all year. He was one of the few bright spots in this come see, come saw season that we had. 78 catches, 1,140 yards, only that one touchdown. But, man, I love the way he played. He was fun. He'll be missed. And my first down goes to Ohio State. Man, talk about a bummer. Well, 21-point favorites, and then they want to get mad at the end of the game. It's like, man, use that energy during the game. I did not see that one coming. But your boy Ryan Day.
That is your boy. He's not my boy. He's your boy. Charlie, Dr. Liggett, what you got?
Hey, okay, so before I get started, I wanted to mention on the pregame, Phil, I heard you talking to Gino, and Gino said something about the Hogs coming out in a 3-6-3 defense. And you, without missing a beat, you just said, well, they're going to get a lot of penalties if they run that.
That was Rick. That was Rick Schaefer. I got to give props.
Oh, Rick. Okay.
Rick was quicker than me at that moment. I was not adding properly, and I wasn't thinking about it. That was all Rick Schaefer, Dr. Liggett.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, my first up for this week, rivalry week. I know you guys talked about it a little bit, but man, it did disappoint. A lot of fun games to watch. The playing the flag thing, didn't that remind you of when T.O. ran to the Star and Cowboys Field and Teague took him out?
Was that George Teague or was that Roy Williams that took him out?
I thought it was George Teague.
Yeah, it was their safety. No, absolutely, and that's what we talked about earlier. If you're going to go plant the flag on somebody else's field, you better expect a confrontation. You better expect somebody's going to come in off the top rope.
Yeah. So, the Michigan-Ohio State game, we didn't really talk about it yet, the Georgia Tech game, 8 overtimes. Georgia Tech almost had that one. But Columbus and South Carolina, a lot of fun games. First down, it seems like forever ago, but the Chicago game on Thanksgiving, that time management at the end was just So it was like 33 seconds left. They had a timeout. They're down by 3, just right on the edge of field goal range. And then Caleb Williams got sacked at the 41. So instead of stopping the clock right then to kind of get yourself back together, they went ahead and snapped it without calling the timeout, like 7 seconds left.
That was a truly amazing thing to watch. Wasn't that amazing to watch? Because it's like
they fired
all
that
of
coach today, didn't they?
They fired him the date. They fired him
they-
the next day.
yeah.
Fired him on Friday. It's like, all right, so I guess you were holding that timeout for next week. You know, Arkansas had a timeout
At that
on that
25
last drive
second,
too.
you got to use it right there. That you
Yeah.
got it when the 25-second play. That was, I don't know if you think. Do you think if Pittman would have been down low, that maybe we get that? You think the fact that he was up in the booth that we didn't
That's
get that
on
call?
Petrino. Petrino
because you
was
got to
the-
call
was
a
the-
timeout right there.
Petrino was the timeout coordinator for the offense. T. Will was for the defense.
Yeah.
That's on Bobby Petrino not using that timeout, not on Sam Pittman. All right, was that you already did your all right? So you're out with your first one there, Dr. Liggett. I got my second
we're
one
good.
here, and it goes to Mike freaking Tom. Did you guys know that Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season as a head coach in the NFL? It's funny too because the the graphics that I see coming out, it's like he's the longest streak of non-losing seasons to begin an NFL head coaching career. It's like, all right, it's 18 years in. I think we can get past the word begin now. With a victory over the Bengals, the Steelers clinch at least a winning season. 9-3. They've had no fewer than 8 wins in Tomlin's 18 years. Do not laugh at this. This is not a thing to be laughing at, too, because if you have, at the very worst, a 500 record as a head coach in a season over 18 years, you're doing something pretty damn special. And also be doing it with a Hall of Fame quarterback in one case, and then to be through the wilderness of the quarterbacks they were in the past 3-4 years, Tomlin's amazing. And look, he had an issue with a timeout at the end of the first half this last week, and he's not the perfect head coach, but he's a great head coach, and he deserves an up. And so do the Steelers, because it's fun to watch him this year.
That Cincinnati
Well, how about
defense,
Russell Wilson throwing for over 400 yards, too?
No kidding. I did not think that the Steelers-Bengals would be the highest scoring game in the NFL this year. I thought it would end up being, the Bengals have this great offense, terrible defense.
Terrible defense.
Should never have an AFC North game be the highest scoring game in the NFL for a year. It's supposed to be the AFC West or the NFC West. Second down, and I'm going to go back to this flag planting thing. I mean, you might as well just unzip your pants and take a leak in the middle of the field rather than planting a flag in the middle of the field. It's the same idea. Is the final score not enough? Is beating your arch rival on their home field not enough? That the machismo of taking a stupid flag and planting it in the middle of the field is supposed to add the insult to the hurt of already losing that game. Can we please get past this thing? Get past the flag planting thing. And to me, it's not a matter of, well, the opponent just needs to walk away and take their L and take it away. There's always going to be pride in the stadium you play in. Always going to be that kind of pride. And I don't fault a player. I don't fault a team for when they are being disrespected like that. And the win and a loss is not a matter of disrespect. That's what you're there for. For the disrespect of planting that stupid flag at the middle of the field just because you feel like being macho about it. This is moronic. Absolutely moronic. You're just asking for fights. I hate this thing. Absolutely hate the flag planting thing. Get over yourself. Get over the machismo of it. All right. Matt, your second.
Second up goes to Coach Dow Loggins and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Rocket Sanders, 17-14 over Clemson, 9-3 season for them. I don't know if they get in the playoff 12, but I know Clemson is a playoff 12 away if they beat SMU. They're in. Might be one of the hottest teams in the SEC, so big shout out to them. And then my second down, I don't know if you guys saw one of my favorite running backs, Christian McCaffrey, who just never really got going this year. Kind of the sniper got him again. So I don't know. He might not. You know how running backs go. I know he's a tough and competitor. He might not ever. He might not ever play again. But he was fun while he was there, man. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer because of longevity, but in talent wise, he's good enough to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's unfortunately if it's, they could be one of those what could have been sort of thing, like a Bo Jackson kind of a thing there. Dr. Liggett, what you got for number 2?
Number 2, I've got Illinois with Bielema and Lunny. Just getting it done all year. 9 wins.
And Grant Morgan.
And Grant Morgan, yeah. I mean, they got a shot at a really good 10 wins. Going to get a really good bowl game, and I'm just proud of those guys, man. They've done a great job.
They might get South Carolina. That'd be a good bowl game right there. A little Illinois, South Carolina game.
All right.
The second down. You got your second down?
Second down is the narrative that the Dolphins can't win big games or in the cold. And I mean, the truth about it is, until they start doing it, I mean, it's just truth. I mean, it's not a narrative. It's just the way that it is. They're just not winning these games. They're just not very physical. And I don't know if that's something you can just fix. I mean, they're going to have to change a lot to change the type.
I mean,
of
isn't
team
this going back? This is going back over 40 years now. This isn't just a new thing.
Oh yeah. So I mean, just think back in the days. I mean, going up to Buffalo in the playoffs, I mean, they just couldn't win those cold games. But they do have the Jets twice, the Browns, the 49ers, and Texans left. So maybe they can salvage it. Probably not a playoff team this year, but we'll see what they can finish up at.
Your boy Josh Allen marrying Haley Steinfeld.
Hey, she is, man. That guy.
You didn't want to do. He's got a third down. I guarantee it's going to be for Josh Allen. That's right. My third up. SEC basketball teams are 28-12 against the Big East, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the ACC. Kentucky, Auburn, Florida, undefeated right now, looking really, really good. And Arkansas is 0-2 against Power 5 teams. So hopefully that changes soon. My third down, and this may happen. It may happen. I hate the idea of a 3-loss team in the playoff. I really don't like it. To me, it's not. It's still a matter of your record should still mean something. 3 losses. It's not like it is an automatic disqualification. But I don't like 3-loss teams in a playoff. So if I look at Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, 8-3 each, do the 3 losses disqualify you from playing when you're looking at some other teams that might have a slightly better record without the 3 losses? Looking at like an Arizona State, an Iowa State, do either of those teams get in over a 3-loss SEC team? But I just have a real issue with the idea of, and maybe it isn't the idea of the 3-loss team being in the playoff, but a 3-loss national champion. It's even weird to try to digest the idea of a 2-loss national champion. But, 8-3 is not a great regular season. It's very good. Very good in the SEC, I guess, gets you into the playoffs now. Matt, third one.
All right. My third up is Liverpool getting past Man City 2-0 to go 11 points above Man City, 9 points above Arsenal right now for first place. And then the third down is kind of the same vein with Man City. Pep, he's won 6 Premier League titles there, in the last decade with Man City. He's one of the best coaches ever. He just took his first ever 7 straight L's. Well, they had one tie, but they haven't won in 7 games. And so they're chanting, we know who's getting sacked in the morning. It's Pep, And so all he does is just do the Michael Jordan 6. He just shows the 6 thing because he's won 6 Premier League titles. So you see it gets to everybody. It does. I mean, he's one of the best coaches ever, and he looks like he's about to jump off a ledge right now.
Nobody likes to look like that. Dr. Liggett, third one.
Did you do both yours, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just to surprise Phil, I'm going to go ahead and my third up is Josh Allen. It hurts me to do it, but man, that guy, he's unreal. Think about it. 0 Division I offers. 0. He goes to JUCO. And still, after playing a year in JUCO, still couldn't get an offer from Fresno State, where he'd always wanted to go. And he's just unstoppable. I mean, the guy just wins. I mean, I can't think of a guy I'd rather have down the stretch when you need some physical play. And as the first player in NFL history to run, pass, and catch a touchdown in the same game. I mean, he does whatever it takes.
I saw a highlight of this play he made the other day where throws a pass. The receiver ends up with 3 or 4 tacklers around him, so he pitches the ball back to Allen, and he runs and dives for the pylon and scored a touchdown. It's just that's some game awareness.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, so that was your up. It can't be your third down too.
My third down is in our 6 losses, Hog football team. In our 6 losses this year, our turnover margin is 15-1, and points off of these turnovers 64-0. That's rough. It just shows you how much of a difference that makes. You talk about all of our close games, and there it is right there.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that. Well, Dr. Liggett, what's this month like at River Valley Smile Center? I know usually the last month of the year, schedule for school is different. Our schedule is different here on ESPN Arkansas. What's this month like at River Valley Smile Center?
So we'll have a couple of days off for Christmas. We take off Christmas Eve, Christmas, and the day after, and then we'll take off New Year's Day. We're working New Year's Eve. Other than that, it's pretty much just a normal month. It does get pretty busy because everybody's trying to use their insurance up that they've put off all year. Like we talked about before, you got to use it or you lose it. If you don't use that, then you just lose the amount that you had. So give us a shout and come in and let's see what we can do.
Hey, Matt's got some healthy pearly whites thanks to River Valley Smile Center.
Absolutely. They take care of you when you get in there, your family, and they've won Best of the Best, I believe, 9 years in a row.
That's a lot. That's called a streak, and it's not it's also not a mistake. That's called something that you can track back. It's called a pattern. Dr. Liggett, what else? I know sedation dentistry is something that you guys really do specialize in.
We do a lot of sedation. Dr. Cole, my partner, he does all of our sedations. We place implants. We do the type of dentures that snap in, so you don't have to worry about them. We kind of focus on cosmetics, but we do just normal family dentistry, crowns, extractions, fillings. Do a little bit of everything here.
You can learn more by going to rivervalleysmiles.com. You can also call 479-646-0706 for River Valley Smile Center. Doc, take us home.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
Charlie, have a great week. Looking forward to doing it again on Monday. That is Dr. Charlie Liggett, River Valley Smile Center. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Back with a quick segment right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland,
America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash finance.
For limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
From inside her room, smile when she's wearing a frown. Ooh, Jackie, you're not so down. You like your life in a style. You're taking his, but you love mine. Seems to be.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Brett McMurphy from Action Network reporting that Sam Pittman will return as the head coach at Arkansas in 2025. This is according to a source close to the program in McMurphy's tweet. Says, as we know, he's scheduled to undergo hip surgery on Tuesday, so we put that in there as well. So I believe the things that McMurphy says. He's a real journalist, so there wasn't going to be a press conference at 3 o'clock anyway today, and I don't think that there was a movement inside the administration to fire Sam Pittman either, nor do I believe that there was something in Coach Pittman that made it he was going to retire when the season was over, and I don't think hip surgery has anything to do with it. I think people look for the reasons that they can find to maybe confirm the things that they want to believe in this case, but the reality of the situation is Sam Pittman will be the head coach at Arkansas in 2025. And look, there are some openings across the country. I think most of these openings have to do with a coach being fired because the program absolutely stunk. The bottom fell out. And if it was another 4-8 year, if it was a 3-9 year, I think that you might be in that kind of position. But you're not in that kind of position. And I think the question now goes to, what about your coordinators? What about your position coaches moving forward? Because if Bobby Petrino Matt, is a candidate to be a head coach at Charlotte, that tells me his agent is out there looking for Group of 5 head coaching positions. So it might not be the only place that he interviews or is interested in being the head coach. Travis Williams, on the other hand, I wonder if the head coach interviews start now, and I start to believe a little bit about what you're saying. Would you rather be the DC at Arkansas in the SEC or Florida State in the ACC? Where really you got to completely rebuild things, and at least you got a defense to start with what you got right now.
Man, I'm a big fan of both those guys. Travis Williams, what he can do, what he brings to the table. You'd love to see both of them come back and be Razorbacks for one more year. You know what I think of Kirby Smart, how long he was there with Saban. I'm sure he had job offers here, and then he stayed there waiting for the right job. So just because somebody offers you doesn't mean it's the right move at the right time. If he's ready, it's just something you'd have to sit down and talk with him about. I wonder how much, because you saw when Coach Loggins left to South Carolina, he plucked. He knew a couple of Arkansas Razorbacks to go get. So if both those guys leave, or if one of them leaves, how much really does that change? Because they're going to take a couple guys with them. I mean, how many guys did Coach Cal take from Kentucky to Arkansas? So you got to think if they leave, you would think him and Taylor Green, but I don't know. I don't know, but you think that if either one of them go, they've probably, already talked about who they're taking with them.
I just have, and the thing with Cal is different because that's in the same league, that's at the same level. The same thing with Dowell Loggins. It's the same league. You're not taking a step down. I would definitely view leaving Arkansas to go play for Bobby Petrino in a Group of 5 school as definitely a step down. I mean, your competition is going to be nowhere near the level of competition you're facing right now, and I do feel that players choose to transfer into the SEC for a reason, so that they show that they can do that. I do wonder if it almost be like one of those situations with Texas A&M baseball with Schlossnagle leaving for Texas. He must have thought he'd have, at least 5 or 6 guys that followed him. It turned out nobody followed him. Had a couple of, incoming freshmen that did, but nobody followed him off the team that was still there. It's different, though. Going from A&M to Texas would be a heck of a lot different than going from the OC at Arkansas to the head coach at Charlotte. But it doesn't surprise me that he's interested in this because, look, I mean, I think Bobby Petrino is a head coach, and I think there wasn't going to be another opening to be a head coach coming out of Missouri State until he was back in the world of Power 5 football, and now he is. And if one of the first Group of 5 openings when they're doing interviews, and he's one of the guys they're talking to as a finalist, there's going to be others. There'll be others that want to kick the tires on him as a head coach, and there'll be other jobs where he might have interest in it. So until I hear from Sam Pittman or whomever that would have the release about it that guarantees that, just like with McMurphy, I trust what he says. With in this case, I'll trust what Sam Pittman says or what somebody from the university says in that case. We get a break. 877-377-6963. Got a caller lined up. We'll get to that in just a moment here on Halftime.
This is Halftime. Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors with so many great gift ideas for those on your shopping list. Save 25% off all Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups. A large selection of the footwear and clothing for work to the woods. Archery, hunting, and fishing gear for those that enjoy the great outdoors. If in doubt, a Jelco gift card is always a perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, your one-stop Christmas shopping destination store. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. And Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain, or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Go to the phones. We got Cecil on hold. We always appreciate a phone call from Cecil. How you doing, Cecil?
Hey, fellas, I was trying to get educated on this internet before y'all tapped me in. But I just, Bobby Petrino going to Charlotte, the 49ers, they just became a FBS school not even 10 years ago. And I just don't see Bobby making no moves like that. Even though it's a head coaching job, it's just like a Missouri State job. I don't know. I'm sure they may pay a little bit more, but it can't be that much more. And I just hope he hang around, man. I like Bobby Petrino, man. And I've heard, because there's a lot of hearing around here. Every day you'll hear this and that. You don't know if it's true or not. But I heard he didn't want the head coaching job ever again. It's too much responsibility. That was dumb. I'm like, really? So I'm thinking he'll stay. I ain't really too much worried about him leaving. I think he liked the University of Arkansas, and we love him. and it's all about getting love back. So, Bobby, if you're listening, man, we know you're gonna be here with us, man, and we're gonna get better next year. And we just gotta make get a few better recruits and just keep moving. Basketball.
Oh, man. I mean,
hey,
Cecil, he's a dedicated halftime listener. I guarantee you, he's been spending definitely part of his midday listening to halftime. Maybe that's the reason why Arkansas finished 22nd in the nation, 13th in the nation in total offense, but 49th in scoring. It's good to hear from you, Cecil. Thank you very much. 877-377-6963. Look, he's not a magician. The offense was better this year, but it was a little bit of the same issue that you had under Briles his last year. A lot of yards, not the points that go along with them. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can find it pretty quickly. If you were to remove the 70 points that Arkansas scored against UAPB, your scoring totals are way down. Let's see here. Arkansas scored, I got my scoring up now. Arkansas scored 30.3 points per game, 70 against UAPB. So it certainly would have been a lot
But that's
lower.
a Division II opponent. I don't know why they put that in there. I mean, that's those stats are skewed.
Very skewed. You look at how you did against FBS opponents or how you did against the SEC, scoring was way down. So the yardage, good. The point totals, not so much. We go into our third hour of halftime. We'll be talking with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South at 1:15. So we're open for you after the break. 877-377-6963. Stay with halftime.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race. Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel and accessories, and great service. 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures in the upper 40s north, upper 50s south, with temperatures across the north falling into the lower 40s. Clear skies. We're going to cool things down all the way in the low to mid 20s overnight. Sunshine Tuesday, a high well into the middle 40s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
And back into our third and final hour on halftime. It's Phil Elson, Matt Jones, C45, Colton Little taking over in our producer's chair. Matt, I got to stop calling them producers because they're really not just producers. These are professional hype men that work with us for 3 hours a day on halftime. C-Movie is top of the list for hype men. Colton's kind of right behind him. So I appreciate the hype men for getting us going throughout the show today. Because the Monday after Thanksgiving, I need a little added hype.
Need the energy, need the vibe. That's right. 45 brings it in.
134 FBS teams, and we have 82 of them that are bowl eligible for 41 bowl games. So I guess that, and I hadn't looked back at this, but I guess that means there were 82 teams that won at least 6 games in FBS football. Yep. I don't think we're going with a 5-7 team this year. I saw a 5-7 team in a bowl game last year.
Because their APR was the best.
That's right. It was Minnesota. They beat Bowling Green in the whatever bowl they played. It was called the Quick Lane Bowl now. I think it's just the Detroit Bowl now. But look at the teams that are eligible out of the SEC. Texas, Mizzou, Tennessee, A&M, LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Vandy, South Carolina, Florida, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. The coaches do like to point out, they'll say, well, there's a lot of teams that aren't going to have a bowl game, and we'd rather be one of those. I think it's 61% of the FBS teams are make a bowl game this year. And anywhere from, it looks like Birmingham or the Texas Bowl are the 2 bowls that I've seen the prognosticators choose. Thought maybe Gasparilla, the other game in Tampa, would be one of them. That would be the first bowl game that an SEC team plays, but I haven't seen any projections on that yet. But it's a lot of teams with at least 6 wins, Matt.
Well, you got a -3 because at least 3 would be in the playoff. I guess those are still are those still counted as bowls, or is that just all some playoff 12? Because everybody kind of moves up the ladder, I guess, in what bowl you get to go to. I'm interested to see what the committee does tomorrow, Phil, to see where Clemson's ranked, where South Carolina's ranked. Clemson can still win the title, right? If they beat SMU, they're in. But has SMU done enough to get in if they take a loss? I wonder who's actually playing for their for the right to move on, and who's actually already made it. Like, if you're looking at those championship games, you got to think the Big Ten and SEC, both the teams are in it. But then if you're looking at the ACC. Are they both in it? The Big 12, if Iowa State, Arizona State is just one of those teams getting in?
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a second Big 12 team that gets in, but I just got through the idea of a 3-loss team. Do they really deserve to be in the playoff because you play in the SEC?
This is the matchup we want to, right? Georgia, Texas. Like this is what we want to see. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. A neutral site game. It's not really a neutral site either. That's the other aspect of it. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Texas fans that travel, but the game's in Georgia, for crying out loud. They've already played a game and maybe 2 games in that stadium this year. I think SMU belongs a 10-1 regular season. Like
they're 11-1 regular season.
That's right. What are we doing if you finish 11-1 in a season in a Power 4 team or Power 4 league and you don't get?
But so if SMU beats Clemson, do you think does the SEC get 4 teams? Because if you're saying Georgia, Texas, Tennessee are in, I guess that's the question for Connor coming up is does South Carolina get? Who is that other team? If SEC gets a 4th team, who would it be?
Yeah, I think the thought might have been maybe a second group of 5 team would have gotten in, but not with a loss by Tulane in this last weekend. Yeah, that's the thing I'd have to get past, Matt. Would be the idea of a second Big 12 team getting in, or a third SACC team that gets in. That's the thing I'd have to get past, because I have trouble with any 3-loss team in a playoff. And if you're a 3-loss team, you're going to be ranked 12th. I don't know which direction you go in this. I really don't. I don't want to be. I wouldn't want to have a job on this committee, because you got to figure, like, everybody, the roundaboutness of who beat who in the SEC makes it really difficult to look at some of that stuff. You know, it's like, well, Ole Miss has this awful loss to Kentucky. Alabama had an awful loss against Oklahoma. I don't think they've lost to Vandy. It
wasn't awful. They just got beat by them.
Yeah, but Vandy ends up coming around with, they finished with 6 wins too. It's like the same idea as Tennessee's loss to Arkansas, but that was only one of 2 losses. The number of losses does have to matter at some point here. So yeah, Texas, Georgia is just about getting a bye. Penn State, Oregon is just about getting a bye. The other 2 Power 4 championship games, Matt, there's questions about.
So you're saying the Big Ten's going to get 4 teams in? They're going to get.
I think it's already been decided they're going to get 4 in.
Oregon, Indiana, Penn State, Ohio State. So I got you there. And so, but this year the SEC is going to get 3 and not 4, and then that's kind of. But there's 7, so there's only 5 left. But I'm with you. I always think there's going to be minimum 6 Big Ten and SEC. Like there's going to minimum 6. Yes. Maybe 7, maybe 8, but I definitely think you're always going to get 3 and 3.
And I think that those 2 leagues would like that perpetually you get 4 teams in because of the level of play and all of that. And I think the level of play in the SEC is higher than the rest of the country, but that's an overall league thing. That doesn't necessarily mean that the teams inside that league are playing great football. 8-3 is not a great season. I think there's a pretty big difference between 8-3 and 9-2, or 9-3 and 10-2. You get to that 10th win, it's a big deal. Look, so much of it is about who has power, who has the money, who do the networks want to show more often. They want to show Big Ten, they want to show SEC. So this whole the next year, 2025 playoff, when we'll be wondering how many teams get into and out of this league, at some point, it'll be a fixed number. It'll be a guaranteed number of spots. And if you're in the championship game of the SEC or the Big Ten, you're guaranteed to get in, and the rest of the leagues get to fend for themselves. Because it is, I think overall, it is a better brand of football. But that also doesn't mean that because it's a better brand of football, that the teams inside that better brand of football are playing to the level of being a real playoff team or a championship team. It's all relative, and that's why I hate how we're doing this. I really do. It's like, so we have in the NFL, everybody plays themselves inside their own division twice, but your overall record still matters in the standings. It doesn't in college football. It's all about your league standings. It's in your standings and figuring out who plays in a championship game. We discount this game, we discount that game because it was against Group of 5, or it was FCS, or it was the ACC and not a Big Ten school and all of that. We look at the NFL and be like, you know what? A win is a win is a win is a win. And I like how they do it there. Seems to make a lot more sense to me. This college football thing, while it is fun for all the conversation and everything, it just ends up with, I don't think that a win in the SEC means exactly the same thing that a win in the Big Ten means. It doesn't in the committee's eyes. It's just you can talk yourself in circles with all of this stuff because of the way that we decide champions in college football. And we thought, well, all right, having 5 different champions based on what writers and coaches think in this foundation and that foundation, this isn't going to work. So let's do a coalition. Let's do an alliance. And then we end up with still split champions like 3 or 4 times before we do a BCS. And then we don't like the idea of computer rankings, taking the humanity out of it. And this team might have gotten left out and all of that. So we'll do a playoff with 4 in committees. All right, well, 4's not enough. So now we got to figure out a way to fit 12 in there. But we got a committee. And it turns out the BCS rankings probably get things better than the committee does. And it turns out that 12 is still a little bit unwieldy. Some people want 10. Some people want to increase to 14. When is this going to end? When are we actually going to find a situation that works? Because this doesn't work.
The Big Ten had 12 teams become bowl eligible. What'd you say? The SEC had 11? Or is Arkansas finished 11? So they had, 2 teams, Indiana, Penn State with 1 loss. Their conference records look better because we have a lot of guys that have that 5-3 mark instead of 6-2. 6-2 to all those teams that are sitting there. There's like 6 of them in the SEC that are piled up. If they could have got to that 6-2 mark, man, Texas A&M, LSU, South Carolina, Mississippi, Missouri, and Alabama, all 5-3. Like, who do you choose to be the 4th team out of that group of 5-3s?
You want a job on the committee?
Woo!
We watch a lot of football. Get paid to watch? Well, I don't know if they're actually paid for it because they have jobs that go along with, being a member of some organization where you can be in this committee. Seth says 6 SEC wins is more impressive than another team winning 10 against weak.
We only had 3 teams win 6 SEC games. You only had you had Tennessee got to 6-2, Georgia 6-2, Texas 7-1. So there was only 3 teams that won 6 SEC games.
Arkansas won 6 games. They won 5 games against teams that combined to go 18-42. You add the Tennessee win, opponents that you beat were 28-44. That's not really very impressive. So I think a lot of it have to do with who is it that you played, but I couldn't ever say that 4 more wins is indicative of a worse season than 6 wins, no matter what league you play in. We got a break on halftime. First, before we do that, I'll remind you about the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum. It is shopping season. If you haven't done your shopping, and you probably haven't, get over to the Stadium Shop for your favorite Razorback fan. They've got everything you need to tailgate, to be there for game days, man cave decorations, anything you got going on. If it needs a Razorback on it, they've got it at the Stadium Shop. They're local, they're family, alumni-owned and operated. Call them at 479-STADIUM or go to shoponrazorback.com or stop by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and tell them ESPN sent you. We'll break, and it's Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South right after this.
This is Halftime.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to Malvern December 7th and 8th at the Hot Springs County Fairgrounds. Join us Saturday, December 7th from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sunday, December 8th from 9 till 3. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for police, and only $5 for veterans in the military. Children 16 and under are free. Go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, December 7th to join your local Jaeger Ace Hardware for their Christmas extravaganza. Bring your kids out to enjoy holiday crafts, a themed scavenger hunt, treats and drinks, while the adults take advantage of doorbuster deals, door prizes, and product demos. Make sure to be early because the first 200 customers receive a free holiday mug, Ace reusable tote, and 20% off everything that fits in the bag. Visit JagersHardware.com or stop by the store for more information. Now open in Barling.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter.
Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996?
That's nearly 30 years. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'll travel from Maine to Mexico just to find a little girl that loves me so. No matter where, no matter where I'll be, looking for a woman that'll satisfy me. Have a look. I will travel.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Time to go to the phones. We have Connor O'Gara with us from Saturday Down South. He is the national senior columnist at SDS. And we get to talk to him every other Monday, which, I mean, take your pick, Connor. We could have you today, which is the Monday after the regular season ends, and you get some craziness going on. Or we could have you next week when the portal opens. And either way, it's kind of crazy this time of the year, isn't it?
Just a little bit. Just a couple of things going on. Early signing period on Wednesday is definitely going to be on the back burner when you consider everything else that we have to talk about this week. But yeah, it's been a very hectic time of year, and the fact that the 12-team playoff exists. Now we've got more resumes that we got to break down. Yeah, there's no shortage of people in there's no shortage of content for people that are in the content game.
Hey, Connor, I just saw one of the first opt-outs, Martin Luther Burden III from Missouri, the receiver there. He's a first-rounder, right? If you're a first-rounder, not in a national championship contention, you kind of opt out, right?
Yeah, Luther Burden III, as you guys, as Arkansas fans saw on Saturday, even when he's not making an impact, I think he still kind of changes how you defend teams, and all the things that guy did 3 years as a starter at Mizzou, staying in his home state as a five-star recruit. Like there are definitely going to be people that view him as a first-round guy and as somebody that is going to probably climb up those draft boards, I think, once they see him in some of these pre-draft scenarios. But it's interesting. Like Arkansas actually, I thought, did a pretty good job of containing him, and the guy that was getting loose a little bit too much was Theo Weiss. And Theo Weiss is someone that's been in college forever, started his career off at Oklahoma. But, they turned around that offense, and they had this 2-year run with 20 wins because of Luther Burden. and that's what he's going to be known for. So, yeah, I mean, I know fans get frustrated when guys opt out of bowl games. I think it's a little bit different when you're in that first round conversation.
Your view on Arkansas, 6-6 after the Missouri loss. You know, they beat one pretty good team in Tennessee, but that's it in terms of teams that you've beaten that are even going to go to a bowl game. And I mean, really, that's the win that you can look on and say, well, that's kind of what this season is built around, because there were no other wins against a winning team, and now we do appreciate the idea that Sam Pittman is coming back, according to Brett McMurphy's source. No surprise on my part. So what's your view?
It's a tough place to be, because I understand why fans are frustrated, and I understand perfectly well why there is this sense that the ceiling is limited with Sam Pittman as the head coach, and you will only go to like 8-4 type places, 9-3 type places with him, and you're not necessarily exploring what that market could look like. And by the way, a market that so far would set up really, really well if you're in the market for a head coach, because if that job were theoretically open, it'd be the best job available. It'd be better than UCF. It'd be better than UNC. I do think that there is some angst from that alone. But at the same time, you're still talking about what this program could do in the 12-team playoff context. And that is important. And I think that the move to keep Sam Pittman for year 6, yes, it was done by Hunter Yurachek, who has a lot of faith in Sam Pittman, but it was done with the 12-team playoff in mind. I think they want to be able to build on what they did this year in those positive moments, have a full offseason of Taylon Green in this offense, build around him. Hopefully, for the sake of Arkansas, they can keep Travis Williams, and he's not leaving to become a head coach somewhere. I do think that's in his future. And you can try and say, hey, what does it take to be able to get to that 9-3 mark? The schedule is really difficult, and that's going to be the toughest part. But I think there is a sense of, okay, we at least improved, and we showed that we could have some of these great moments like we did against Tennessee. Let's try and see if we can build on that.
What about championship games coming up here? The Georgia and Texas are in, Penn State and Oregon are in. And the other two championship games in a Power 4 league, Big 12, ACC, these teams are playing to get into the championship, correct? Because Clemson's not getting in after that loss to Miami. I don't know if this is a year where two Big 12
to South
teams,
Carolina, yeah,
or to South Carolina. That's right. I don't know if two Big 12 teams get in, especially with the idea that a loss in that championship game is 3 losses. I know maybe you don't want to penalize for making a championship game, but do you think that there's going to be a 4th SEC team that gets in?
I don't, but golly, I mean, let's be honest. Alabama does not deserve to have a chance to play for a national championship. The way that they came out against Oklahoma was that was the nail in the coffin, or it should have been. That for a third loss to get blown out like that against the 6-6 team. By the way, second time Alabama lost to a 6-6 team this year. I mean, what are we doing if Alabama's in the playoff? I'd rather see South Carolina, and I know Alabama's got the head-to-head. They played that game in Tuscaloosa, but South Carolina at least won 6 in a row down the stretch. They had 4 wins against teams that were in the AP top 25 at the time of the matchup, and they just went on the road and beat Clemson and became the first team to win in that place in consecutive trips since 2012. This is still a system that is we're figuring out what it looks like, and figuring out what it looks like going into conference championship weekend is complicated. There are people that don't think SMU already has a playoff berth clinched. What are we talking about? 11-1 SMU is not getting left out of the playoff, even if they lose to Clemson. They would have there's no way in which they would drop 5 spots for losing that game to Clemson for a team that earned an extra game. Meanwhile, idle 9-3 teams are going to get in. So I wouldn't want to see that scenario play out. I don't think it will, but who knows? I mean, it's going to depend on also, what happens with this Big 12 championship. Are we going to get some chaos? There's a lot of stuff that can play out, but I tend to think that it'll just be the 3 SEC teams, but I don't know. Crazier things have happened, and this is the 12-team playoff era where crazy very much is on the table.
Can Jimmy Franklin get it done in a Big Ten championship game? That's kind of the knock on him, is he's the Lane Kiffin of the Big Ten, just can't win the big one. What do you think? Any chance?
Let me say it in Spanish for you guys. No. Look, This is a guy that I have grown to be very frustrated watching because of how he acts in big games, how he acts after big games. I don't have any faith that James Franklin is going to win a 60-minute chess match with Dan Lanning. I really don't. And I would love to know how much prep they've done on Oregon before this past weekend, wherein it looked like Ohio State was a lock to get to the Big Ten championship, and we're going to have this rematch with Oregon and Ohio State. And instead, all of a sudden, Penn State finds out that, actually, Ohio State puked on the shoes against Michigan once again, and it's actually Penn State playing in this game. But no, I don't have that faith. I don't have the faith that Drew Aller is going to be able to move the chains against a really, really good Oregon defense. And I think this is just going to be another one of those instances in which we're reminded that James Franklin against top 5 teams, don't trust it. Just don't. And Oregon, to be at this place now, last unbeaten in FBS, only FBS unbeaten in the regular season, they've earned everything that they've gotten. And I think they're going to earn a Big Ten championship by taking care of Penn State in pretty convincing fashion.
Let's stay in the Big Ten just for a moment before we get to SEC championship game. What's going to go on in Ohio State with Ryan Day? I mean, the guy's got this incredible record against everybody that doesn't wear maize and blue. And they're going to go to a playoff. Who knows? They may win a national championship, but that'd like be the only way to placate fans in Columbus or anywhere around Ohio because of 4 straight losses to Michigan. It's just so odd to think about the idea of we hate this coach. They're going to go to the playoff. I mean, I understand where they're coming from with this. It's really frustrating. It's just, I keep going back to the idea of this is such an odd sport that we cover, Connor.
It's so unique, Phil. It's a one-of-one situation. There's never been anything like it before. I don't know if there will ever be anything like it again, but that loss was so bad, so unbelievably bad in every possible way. And with this $20 million roster that Ohio State has, yes, it is now truly title or bust in ways that we have never seen before with a head coach. And that is probably to some shocking. And you're going to say, like, oh, fans are just overreacting and they should just be happy that they're in this conversation. No. They spent $20 million. They're facing a Michigan program that was bottom 5 in the country in percentage of returning production with that $20 million roster after losing 3 in a row to that team. And they paid $20 million for this roster to not lose to Michigan again. And in their own building, they still found a way to lose that game. And to me, I don't care if they lose the national championship on the last play, and it's a game in which Ohio State gets robbed by the officials. If that happens, Ryan Day is gone. Anything short of a national championship, Ryan Day is gone. They will move on. And that is really what's going to set the wheels in motion for this coaching carousel, because right now it's not really spinning a whole lot just yet, but that's going to be the thing that has a true ripple effect, similar to what we saw with Nick Saban retiring at Alabama.
It's also like when SMU made their change in basketball, and look at the chain reaction that it sent from there. All right, Texas, Georgia. No way Georgia wins again with 3 interceptions thrown by Carson Beck. But then again, if they hold Texas to under 1.5 yards per carry, maybe they can.
I'm leaning Texas. And I haven't made like a final pick on this one. I just did like my early thoughts and published that. Shameless plug, SaturdayDownSouth.com. But it's baffling to look back at this first game because it just made no sense. And the only thing that makes sense about it, if you want to just try and like break down both sides, how did this result happen? Georgia's defense just had the single best performance of any unit all year in college football. And if you can just accept that, you can kind of look beyond some of the other things. Like Texas allowed 30 points in this game, yet the Texas defense dominated. I mean, they allowed one scoring drive more than 34 yards. And it was the pivotal drive, but still, this is a Texas team that since that night, they have done nothing but win. And yeah, Arkansas fans know it's not always the prettiest thing in the world, but this Texas defense, it's just nasty. It is good enough to win a national championship. And can Carson Beck turn it around right after he's, in the midst of this stretch right now, 118 consecutive passes without an interception, longest stretch of his career. And that's coming off of what he did, mid-season with those struggles. So I do wonder how this is going to benefit Texas in this rematch and Sark making those adjustments. But I think that's kind of why I'm leaning Texas. I just trust them more. I trust their defense. I think their defense is easily the best unit in this game. But you just never know with Georgia playing in that building, going to have a little bit of that home field type of advantage. But, yeah, Texas has just been unbelievably good and definitely a worthy SEC championship participant.
Connor, always great stuff. Appreciate you stopping by with us, and we'll look forward to talking in a couple of weeks when we know what this playoff field looks like.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Connor O'Gara, the national senior columnist at Saturday Down South, with us every other Monday on Halftime. Coming up on the 5th, we are going to be celebrating at Twin Peaks and Rogers Anti-Prohibition Repeal Day. That's right. We're going to be celebrating the repeal of prohibition at Twin Peaks in Rogers. They've got it going on all week long, offering 1930s-inspired cocktails for Steel in-store starting today through the end of the week. You can also buy our holiday bonus cards at Twin Peaks and Rogers. You'll get a $5 bonus card for spending $25 on gift cards for your family and friends. If you spend $100 on gift cards, you get a $20 bonus card. That is all month long, and these bonus cards work through January of next year. You can go to Twin Peaks and Rogers to find out more. You can also go online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. They've got, of course you know it, more TVs, bigger screens, scenic views, always more to watch at Twin Peaks. It's the home stretch of halftime. Our number here is 877-377-6963, and we are back right after the break.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
My phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for Watch and Tab. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. The merger of two good companies brings together strengths to make one great company. Regerson is now Sharp Equipment. Even though it will no longer have Joe, Jesse, or Sheila as they go off on another adventure, the foundation they have laid is now a strong asset along with Sharp Equipment to complement its offerings to their great customers. Sharp Equipment would like to thank the Taylors and look forward to continuing to serve the River Valley and beyond. Stop in at 5608 Wheeler Avenue and see what all Sharp Equipment has to offer.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been part of their family for many years. Register today through December 20th at hitthatline.com for your chance to win a specialized road bike just in time for Christmas. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel and accessories, and great service. 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy, you call me up and ask me would I like to go with you and see a movie. First I say no, I got some plans for tonight, and then I stop and say alright. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little boy like you.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, back here on halftime. So Connor O'Gara in the last segment brings up the idea of Ryan Day getting let go if Ohio State does not win a national championship. Looking at Day's career, of course, he's only been a head coach at Ohio State. 66-10 record. He has won nearly 87% of his games as the head coach there. But 4 straight losses to Michigan is the thing that can do you in this case. And talk about a rivalry. I know, Eli Drinkwitz and Sam Pittman say the right things about the Arkansas-Missouri rivalry, and I think it's growing. They've had really good games for the most part. This year was a good game. Teams got chippy in it and everything. But nobody's going to lose their job based upon the outcome of the Arkansas-Missouri game, obviously. For the idea of, what has he won a couple of games against Ohio State? Let's just, it's always like,
you mean against Michigan? Harbaugh got him those last couple, but I think he had won a couple early against him. Yeah, because Harbaugh struggled. I think when you put all your eggs into that MTV basket, they're all. He wears it on his sleeve. He openly talks about it all year. 51 weeks of the year don't matter, but that 1 week matters, and it's almost like it's a little bit heavy as the crown sort of thing.
I guess it must be
because it's too much. There's no way those two rosters. I mean, we see the two rosters right there, but then what happened? It's like they say they're still 19-year-old kids. There's no way NIU beats Notre Dame. They could play that game 10 more times. It's a funny game.
So then all of those hypothetical matchups that people look at, we had people send them in earlier here about, you're going to tell me that Arizona State or SMU would beat Alabama, would beat Ole Miss, would beat Texas, Georgia. Nobody knows. You don't know. Those who are looking at these and saying this would never happen, what about the games you just said? What about that? That's why these games are played. You can't go by hypothetical matchups. It's the same idea as Hugh Freeze. Oh, Arkansas beats Auburn this year, but we'd beat them the next 9 times. Oh, yeah? That's just a nice thing to say to try to make yourself feel better that you got your ass kicked by a team that you thought you should have beaten. That's all it is. Nobody knows what happens in these hypothetical matchups. That's why I look at 3 losses in the SEC. All right, so these are actual in terms of the teams that we're talking about for the playoff here. They lost 3 conference games. So to finish 2 games over 500 in the SEC means that one of these teams was good enough to go to the playoff. 2 games over 500, and nobody has the same schedule in the SEC. That's the other aspect of this. An SEC schedule, 2 of them next to each other are not equal in the same way that an SEC schedule would be different than the Big Ten. Arkansas had a different schedule than Texas, a much tougher schedule than Texas. Florida had a different schedule than Alabama did. I mean, it's just they're not all the same. So it's like Arkansas's 3 wins in the league. Who did they come against? Well, they came against 2 teams that don't go to a bowl, one that didn't win a game in Mississippi State, the other Auburn, and then this surprising win over Tennessee, who has a chance to play for a national championship.
Well,
I can't look at a team that goes 2 games over 500 in this league or any other and say, yes, you deserve to play for a national title.
All right, you got Notre Dame's in. You got 4 in the Big Ten are in, and 3 in the SEC are in. So there's your 8 right there. The ACC, okay, you're going to get 1 out of the Big 12, so there's 9. The ACC, if Clemson wins, they're getting 2. That would be 11. So then you're only getting 1 more team. So if Clemson wins, we know who 11 of the 12 are right now. And then Boise State, are they not?
And then
the
it's
other?
a group of 5. Then it's a group of 5.
So there's your 12 right there. There that we just did it. It's at Notre Dame. If Clemson wins, they're in, but so is SMU. Penn State, Oregon are in. Georgia, Texas are in. 1 Big 12 team get in. There you go.
Yeah, and the hypotheticals are for us to discuss. They're for us to ask Mike Irwin and Connor O'Gara and kick around our ideas about maybe this could happen or maybe
if Clemson doesn't win, who gets their spot, Phil? That's the at large because Notre Dame's in. So there you go. That's the team. I think the game that Matt does. South Carolina. Do you get an SEC team in? Does Tulane have any shot? No, because they lost to Memphis.
Or is there a second Big 12 team?
Boise State get in?
Right, or maybe who knows?
If UNLV beats Boise State.
Would a group? I never thought that you'd have 2 group of 5 teams get in. I don't think that'll still happen now. But what if UNLV beats Boise?
Is Miami not in
and
anymore?
Tulane beats Army, and then Clemson beats Miami or beats SMU. Or get the other way around. I mean, it really could happen. I mean, Barry Odom's playing for a possible spot in the playoff 12 with this second Mountain West championship against Boise State like last year. But last year it was 4. They were just playing to win a Mountain West. Now they're actually playing on the blue field Friday at 7:00 for a possible chance to go to host a game. I mean, they may end up hosting.
You got to play that 3-6-3 against them to stop Yanti. Like it's.
Well, yeah, you got to have your 12 players
if you're going to stop that running back.
Yeah, that was Rick. That wasn't me. Rick's the one who's a lot quicker as far as the adding up the math and everything. I didn't quite jump on it quickly enough. 877-377-6963. Yeah, I mean, I got to this earlier. It's just so wild to think about the idea of the 4 teams that finished in first place, tiebreakers, counting them, in each of these power leagues are brand new to the league. But I don't think that means anything about the strength of that league. Why did Texas finish the way they finished this year with that record? Part of it, I think, is the schedule they played, but they were building up towards this. So the idea of Texas won what? 1 Big 12 championship in the last 12 years, and they come in here and they finish with the best record in the SEC. Well, what about Oklahoma? What about all the years Oklahoma won the Big 12 and they finished this year in the SEC 2-6 in conference? These 2 things, you can't point to one and say, well, that's indicative of a poor SEC and not point to the other aspect of it. Texas gets in to the SEC kind of a little bit of the same way that Missouri did, though even stronger. Remember, Mizzou came in and I think they won back-to-back East Division championships. Didn't have the best record in the league overall in terms of conference games, but Texas does. Arizona State, you could point to that maybe being, remember how good the Pac-12 was last year. That might be a little aspect of, why their record was what it was last year and what it is right now. And then there's Oregon. I mean, Oregon's been at an incredibly high level for a long time. But did you think they would get into the Big Ten and finish as the number 1 team overall before the Big Ten championship game? SMU in the ACC to win that thing with a 22,000-seat stadium? I did not see this one coming. It's just shocking. Got Keith with us in Fort Smith. Keith, thanks for calling halftime. What's going on?
Hey, guys. I want to just tell you guys something that I think's happening. I have no proof of this and no source, so much like about everybody else that
That's
called
great.
in.
We love unfounded rumors here. Go for it.
unfounded rumors. That's what I think is happening here. This is what I think. Sam is 63 years old. Okay, Sam is 63 years old. He's been coaching his entire life, fall, spring, all that, recruiting. He's been recruiting majority of his life. I have a hard time believing he's just dying to go through hip surgery and come back and be on that sideline when his house in Hot Springs is all finished and it's all good. So what do I think's happening? I think that his agent, you know who, is using McMillan to communicate that he's ready to come back. He's all in, and they know that the Hog Fan Nation is not going to be joyous in our hearing that. Okay, now I know we specialize in downtrodden depression, but even still, he hadn't left us with much to be excited about. Okay, so I think that's happening. I think they put that out there to put pressure on Hunter to go get that man his money, because I think Hunter's saying, well, we'll bring you back. I think this is a game of chicken right now, because I don't think Hunter's excited about what we have with Sam, and just like we all are. He sees what we've got going on right now ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that I feel like Hunter or Sam is. I think our Super Bowl's 8 wins. I've called on this program and said that before. So close, no cigar, but we weren't where we were last year. And I think that's why we see Bobby Petrino's name being brought up in all these other things he's got going on, because he's fully aware of what could be happening, and he's going to be sure he's got his ducks in a row before anything shakes loose on that game of chicken. I have no knowledge of that. I have no proof of that. But I think we're seeing a lot of back and forth. And we've got an AD, by the way, mentioned, who's told us he ain't interested in going to South Carolina and going back home where his son's a tight ends coach. He don't want to do that. His name, don't even think about him going over there. So that's something out there as well we need to watch. I think all this is going on. I think it goes way beyond just Sam. And I appreciate y'all taking my call. Go Hogs.
Well, Keith, I don't. If he didn't hang up, I was going to ask him a question here. Keith, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
All right, so I just want to know your opinion as to who you think should be the coach. Do you think Sam Pittman should be the coach, or do you think they should look for somebody else?
I think we have to look at Barry Odom not going to the north, going to Appalachia. I think Barry Odom's out there waiting around, seeing if I'm going to get this playoff button to press this playoff button. Does that mean I go get to be a power 4 conference coach? And if it does, is West Virginia my best option? I'm going to get to your question here in a minute. But that's what I think we got to see, because I'm going to tell you, I think Barry Odom is the best we're going to do. People on 24/7, people on here, people on Hogville. I've already been banned from Hogville once. They're talking about Rhett Lashley. Rhett Lashley is in a golden goose situation. He will never leave SMU. They have been smart, gotten a conference they can win with money that knows no end. So here's my answer. I think we do not need to pay Sam Pittman this buyout, because our genius AD signed him to a way bigger contract than he ever should have deserved, even after 9 wins, never being a head coach before. It's one reason why we're here where we're at. I think we got to get this guy. We play chicken with him back, and we make that 63-year-old get back on that sideline with that brand new hip. And because I don't think he wants to. And I think you keep recruiting as best you can. We eliminate any issue. We keep Payman Green. We try to keep Bobby Petrino. I'm fine with rolling it back, because, like I said, to begin with, 8 wins is our Super Bowl, and we're just a little bit short of that. But what I don't want to do is pay this guy $10 million to go off and live and see that brand new boat he's going to be driving on Lake Hamilton. And the best we're going to do is some group of 5 guy that's never been a head coach before, as a coordinator, or never won much. And then you got Neil Brown, and what's going on at West Virginia, they just let him go. So we've got to get somebody that's been a head coach before, pull our money up. And if that's what Hunter's doing, and he's not trying to play chicken with us, going between South Carolina and staying in Fayetteville, which I think is highly likely he's doing, because everybody wants to get theirs. If he's not doing that and he's playing chicken with Sam, I can get behind it, because it's going to keep us from having to spend $10 million in an NIL world where we're already not winning much to begin with. So my answer would be, if Sam stays, and I'm fine with that, because we're done with Sam after next year, and we don't have to eat that $10 million. We can put that $10 million into something different. But if Sam goes, I would take Barry Odom in a heartbeat, mainly because he's been a head coach before. He knows Arkansas. I didn't think he was that bad at Missouri, and we don't have a better option than Barry, because Rhett will never come here.
All right, Keith, you answered the question. I appreciate that very much. Did you ever try to play connect the dots with the stars in the sky, Matt?
Well, you did it last year with the basketball fallout when Musselman left to go to USC. You ended up connecting it at just, a few days late. I want to run it back too. I think I want Pittman to be the head coach, and I want one more year with Taylor Green and Sorey and some of these guys we got. Go pluck some other guys. I think there's a lot of talent up there that if you can just go get a couple other spots, spend your money in the right area. I don't not disagree with him. We could win 8 games next year.
Hey, make sure that if you are getting out doing some cold water bass fishing anytime soon, that you got the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior with you. It'll help you duplicate a small school of shad when you work it from the top of the water column to the bottom. Looking to win a bass tournament, whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers. It's the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior. They're going to catch them. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro, Academy, LearnNet, and tackle stores everywhere. And we are back to wrap up halftime after this break.
This is halftime.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Never knew how to be or to be. She just needs to baby, please. It's so right. Be with me tonight. Please, God. Just to be close.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Browns, Broncos, Monday Night Football tonight. Denver favored -6.5 on BetSaracen. Make sure you have it on your Apple iPhone, your Google Android, any web browser, BetSaracen.com. Matt, Sadie, my daughter, who's an NFL Giant fan, right? Not a Giants fan, but a huge NFL fan, said to me that yesterday as we're watching some of the games, Dad, I really don't think Jaden Daniels is going to win the offensive MVP. She thinks it's going to be Bo Nix, your boy. And then the two of us ended up arguing about Brock Bowers, because I think Bowers will probably be the offensive MVP. But that'd be the only reason I'd watch Denver and the Browns today, so that I can argue with my NFL-watching daughter about the offensive rookie of the year. It's fun being a dad now.
Man, that sounds pretty cool. And Premier League, oh my goodness, it's like the 12 days of Hanukkah, man. They are here. The Premier League. You know how you get your well, I mean, we're not worried about details. We're just worried about being funny, because remember when you said your 55 days of straight football every day?
That's right.
Same concept with soccer. It is here every day. Happy Christmas.
That is called Matt Jones's Christmas. That's right. It lasts almost 2 months. Great to be back with everybody on this Monday. We'll do it again tomorrow. Make sure you download the latest Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast, C45 and C-Move. We've been working on that. Comes out shortly, right about the time Ruskin and Zach get on the air in about 4 minutes. Back with you tomorrow. For Matt Jones, for Christian, for Colton, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. Get up, get out, and get better.
Waldron Wave Rural Connects. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are